expect another 1 to 2% in delinquency. And I base it on something very logical, which is over leveraging of people buying at the height of the market. And if anybody, that's what I see happening. I don't think it's a complete collapse, but I can certainly see the numbers cooling down. And if I buy at the height of the market, we've learned this historically, right, David? Homeowners who buy at the top of the market, who see that they've lost equity, tend to not want to pay when they don't think that they have the value in their house anymore, which is crazy, I admit. But we've got something to back that up. So now I've got a group of people that are sort of homeowners are kind of trained that, okay, there's no equity in your house. You contact the bank, you stop making payments because you have a friend who did it, and you apply for a loan mod, and you get them to adjust based on the market. And that's not necessarily so.
Well, that's a really bad idea. It's a really bad strategy. And I've seen lots of people who have done, there's actually a term for it. And I don't remember what that term is, but that's a really risky move unless you're setting the money aside to make up the arrearage plus the late payments,
right,
that you're going to have as a result of doing that when they say no. Because, by the third or fourth month, they're not taking a partial payment. And not to mention the 4 times 30 you have on your credit at that point that, really punishes you for, many years.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. And I think we're going to start seeing more of that. And again, I'm just saying this to everybody listening. I think the listing is the key. I think being in charge of listings always bulletproofs you to the market. I will say it until I am blue in the face. There are only 3 true data sources for niche marketing. I don't believe expireds are a niche. I don't believe for sale by owner is a niche. Those are actions that happen because of the market and because of the way people sell. But from a true marketing standpoint, where I've got a true data source that does not matter what happens to the weather, doesn't matter for a horrible event to the United States, there are 3 that will always produce listings, and that's defaulted homeowners, there is divorce, and there is probate. There will always be sellers generated from those 3 categories. That's just the way it is. Expired will always be a flaky group of people, depending on the market. For sale by owner, exactly the same thing. They can pull up the stake whenever they want. So if I was talking to an individual who's just trying to bulletproof their one pipeline of business, especially with the news that's coming out, I would focus on the defaulted listings. How is it? We can make the turn from right there, David, which is how is tagging and what do the appointments look like in your office currently?
Tagging is fine. We have a steady flow of distressed properties that we're able to get to. We're getting a normal response. We just closed one the other day. Homeowner mentality is about the same. That at first they really want to keep their house, and then they come to realize that they're going to lose their house, and they want to have some control over the transition, and they want to lose the house with money in the bank. So, that's kind of, it's basically, it's pretty normal and pretty typical. So we put out 20 tags, we get 4 phone calls. We get 3 appointments, 2 of them show up, which means we have 2 conversations. We're not getting a listing at the door, but it's the beginning of building a relationship, and we nurture them and follow up and nurture them and follow up until they finally, really want help, and we help them. I got a meeting today, a homeowner that we met over a year ago coming into the office at 1:30 or 2:30 today. And we're going to sit down and talk about what his next option is, which is basically foreclosure or sale. What are you going to, he's going to have, it's a moment of truth for him. But we stayed in touch with him, and he stayed in touch with us, and today we will either list the house or pray for him.
It's usually
There's
the way
really
it
nothing
goes.
else we can do.
So for all of
Yeah.
you here with us live, go ahead and start loading up your questions. I see Jeff's on the screen and we'll bring it up. For those of you that are returning students or interested in the product, here's how it works. The Monster Marketing System, the Advocate Marketing System, all of our systems run on a very basic principle. You pull data. We like defaulted data greater than 91 days delinquent, anywhere from NOD if you're on the West Coast, or list pendants if you're an East Coast person, all the way up to an auction or a sale date. Don't care when the auction or sale date is. Just sort of tag them all. Try to get 36 done per week. I went out a tagging yesterday, David, which kind of goes to Jeff's question. I tagged in an area where there's a very active agent. That's not me just trying to steal deals. It's to answer Jeff's question, which is part of the problem is he's run into Marianne, who's a machine in Arizona. I get that, Jeff. Marianne is a machine, and she is very successful with what she does. So I yesterday was in an area that I know was populated by a very popular player. I got 2 appointments. I put up 36 tags. I truly and fundamentally believe this to your question. I don't overload areas. I really don't. I do realize that there is some overlap. And because I have a California real estate license, I am saying this to everybody on the call. I'm liable to put tags in San Diego because I'm bored on a Tuesday. I could be in Orange County and feel like doing an event down there. And I have been known to tag before events. And this is the same for all of you. I can't pin you to a city. I mean, it's a great thought. I can tell you this, you go out into the valley, you're going to be competing with David, who does have a person going out. Arizona is a very, 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 very large place. To say that you're only running in, Jeff, to Marianne, who just runs a program with her husband. I mean, it's not like a large firm. I'm just being legitimately honest, and this is a question I get all the time. No, I don't overbook areas. I don't try to jam too many people into an area, and I'm very careful of it these days. That's why we take an application. Again, go to thelistingmonster.com, watch the video, fill out the application, and see if we can get you involved in the program. Now, to all of the coaching students, you're worried about Marianne and you figure put more tags out to build marketplace and experience. No, you won't. Here's what it is, and I don't know why this is. David doesn't know why this is. Even when I invented the Monster Marketing System, I actually have no explanation for this, other than human nature of when they take action. David and I have mused, good word, mused, over this topic forever. People take action when people take action. You could put the tag up the first time you get no action. Then David comes along and he tags that area a week or two later. And they may have even called in and said, no, I'm not interested. This is an actual fact that's been documented. No, I'm not interested. Email me the information. Then David tags it and David gets the appointment. Their situation changes, their life changes, whatever it is.
Well, what's really changed is their emotion. So right. If you got them on a weak emotional day, then they want to talk to somebody. And if they feel like they're winning, then they don't want to talk to anybody. So.
If we got 100% open, if we had 100% face-to-face rate, then I would worry about everybody who has the monster, right? It's who wakes up earliest in the morning. There'll be somebody out there at 3 a.m. tagging. If I actually had 100% face-to-face rate, which would be shockingly insane. And even when I first did the monster, I tested it in a city called Livermore up in the northern area back, 8 years ago now, whatever it was, 2010, 2009. We tagged the entire city. We still didn't get 100% face-to-face rate. We got, it was always the same. It's a 20% face-to-face rate is what it always seems to break down, 10 to 20%, no matter how many times we've done it. Okay, so let's answer some of these questions. First question from Jeff, I decided I needed to up the number of tags. I'm doing so. I'm going this direction. Only getting one live meeting for people to show up and answer the door, their appointments for about every 40 tags I drop. Okay, question I would first ask, and maybe you can get involved in this. The first thing I'd worry about is only getting one appointment out of 40 tags. That's a low number, right? You should get somewhere between a response rate of 10 to 20%. About 50% of those are going to invite you over. So 40 tags should get you in the range of 2 to 5 appointments. I mean, that's just the way it is, even on the low end, especially when you're consistent. So, Jeff, what data are you using and where are you getting the data from? That's the first big question. Anything you want to add to that while I wait for his response, David?
No, everything starts with data. I mean, listen, if something's not working, okay, there's a step was missed, a shortcut was taken. That's always the case. Not once has somebody come to me and says it doesn't work, and we were able to sit down and take a look at their situation to be able to diagnose the problem. So,
property, here's the shocky part. It's property radar.
All right. So is the question about data or is the question about no shows?
Okay, so he's getting one call per 10 labels. That's about right.
All right. So that's data. It could be location of the tag. Okay.
Who's putting up the tag?
So it could just be a short streak. Yeah. It could be. I just was working with somebody last week who was leaving the tag and a package at their door and couldn't understand why they weren't getting any calls. So I said, well, stop leaving a package. You're not supposed to leave the package. Right. You're supposed to take it face to face. And then guess what? 20% calls.
Appointments to maybe 60% are not showing up. Okay, that's a whole different issue as well. Okay, so hold on, Jeff. So you're getting about one call. It's about a 10% rate. That's not horrible. Are you putting the tags up yourself, Jeff? Just on a guess here as well. Are you? Okay, cool. So, and you're going garage door, mailbox, front door. Where are you putting the monster marketing piece? On the garage door. Good spot. All right, good. So you're getting one call per 10. Not bad. And only about 60%. So you're getting about a 40% who are actually taking the appointment. So what are you doing? That's a good question. What are you doing when they don't show up on their appointment? The age-old question. What do I do if they don't answer the door, David? We have two different answers for this, and both are very viable, but I want to make sure.
Well, we call them. We call them from the point that, hey, I'm here. Are you near? All right. And then I leave a tag at the door that says second attempt, and I leave.
Right. I just do the second part, Jeff. If they're not there for the appointment, just retag it again. Calling them and just leaving the cover sheet, writing to call me when they would like to meet. Now, just put another tag up, Jeff, and write second attempt. Think like a delivery company. Down and dirty. All right, good. You're thinking of upping the numbers and doing about 15 tags a day. 15 tags a day is fine. I mean, 2 sheets would be enough for a week if you're putting 12 out per day. I mean, it's still keeping you. I can put up 12 tags in about an hour, even in a fairly diverse area. So that's not a bad number. And as long as I put up 12 and I'm getting a couple of calls, I'm pretty happy. I've gotten low numbers and I get low numbers. I'm okay with it. I was going to up it to 50 tags a day. That's a lot of tags. That is a lot of tags, Jeff. You could certainly try it. You're looking at taking 3 hours a day for 50 tags, probably. 12, 24, 36. 36, that's 4 hours. That's 4 hours of tagging. Oh, you were doing 15 a day. Okay. I'm able to do about 18 an hour. Okay, don't kill yourself. You don't need to do 15 a day.